City of Port Allen, Louisiana, Wednesday, March 12, 2025. Council chambers. Each person must decide entering the chamber which agenda item they wish to comment on. If they are not seated in the chamber when the agenda item is heard, they will be notified by an officer to enter the council chamber to address that agenda item. Agenda. Please silence all electronic devices. Call to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And before we do a roll call, I do ask that we take a moment of silence. We have one of our council people is out due to an illness, so we just want to whisper a short prayer for her. Thank you, and we're wishing her a speedy recovery. Can I get a roll call, Ms. Rose?
Ms. Joseph? Present. Ms. Gordon? She's absent. Mr. Hubble?
Here.
Ms. King? Here. Mr. Payne? Here. You have a floor, ma'am.
Okay, number 4, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of February 12th, 2025. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Okay, motion by Councilman Hubble, second by Councilman Payne. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph? Present. Ms. Gordon? Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King? Here. Mr. Payne? Here. Motion passes.
Okay, 5, public comment. Comments from the public are allowed in accordance with LAR. Public comments from the public are allowed in accordance with LAR 42:11, section 2 through 34, and specifically limited to an agenda item to be considered during the meeting, 3 minutes per person and 15 minutes per topic. Okay, I'm not sure if you were here before. We did pull 7, 8, and 9 off the agenda. So 7, 8, and 9 will be pulled. Okay, 6, presentation by Mr. James Self, Regional Coordinator for the Liberty and Dignity Coalition regarding the 4 constitutional amendments up for consideration on the March 29, 2025 ballot. Mr. Self?
First, I want to begin by saying thank you all to the council. Thank you to you, Mayor Pattan. I am a son of West Baton Rouge. I grew up here on Silver Lane in Port Allen, and then later moved over to Irwinville, Louisiana. Grew up on Rubon Road before later moving into Baton Rouge. Thank you guys again for having me. These 4 amendments, and I assure you that I'm going to be brief. I will not take 15 minutes to go through these. As I know the hours fit, there are several other items that you all wish to cover. Again, thank you. But very quickly, these 4 amendments are dangerous. And what's happening is that those who authored these proposed amendments did so with very little public input, did so under what I would consider the cloak of quiet and dark, and that they used a lot of language within there that made it very difficult for folks to really understand the actual nature and the intent behind those amendments. And so I wish to just speak briefly on those 4 amendments and to share with you the importance of us voting no on all 4 of these. The first amendment, the constitutional amendment that they are proposing, it says, do you support an amendment granting the Louisiana Supreme Court jurisdiction to discipline out-of-state lawyers for unethical legal practices in the state of Louisiana, and to grant the legislature the authority to establish trial courts of limited and specialized jurisdiction. Well, here's the reality, folks. We already have limited and specialized courts here in the state of Louisiana. These already exist. This is an amendment that we do not need because there's already a provision. The second thing, what is of even greater concern, is that what this amendment would open the door for will be allowed for there to be very vague courts that could then be used to try as could be used as an opportunity to try individuals who may disagree with the perspective of a particular political party. That's scary. The thought that you could possibly be prosecuted or brought before a specialized court with very little additional information about it and be put in that sort of position or predicament. What it also does is that it also gives power to what we now have as a supermajority state legislature to set up can't-lose courts, and it also sets up can't-win courts. That's dangerous. We also know that our judicial system is literally the last line of defense as it relates to democracy in this country. One of the things that I've also noticed, a personal note, is that Louisiana has a very high concentration of judges here. A greater concern is that this also creates a two-tier judicial system, which would allow those to circumvent the current judicial system that we already have in place by diverting individuals away from the court systems that we have in place to these specialized courts. So it's for that reason we must vote no on the first amendment. The second proposed amendment is a tax rewrite, and it says, do you support an amendment to revise Article 7 of the Constitution of Louisiana, including revisions to lower the maximum rate of income tax, to increase income tax deductions for citizens over 65, also provides for a government growth limit, modify operations of certain constitutional funds, and provide for property tax exemptions retaining for nonprofit organizations and churches. At core, this is a complete tax rewrite. It's not an adjustment to it. All right, and one of the consequences of this would be our faith-based communities, who are oftentimes tax exempt, would then be subject to being taxed on their property as well. The other concern of this is that it presents itself as a tax break or a tax cut, but the reality is, in order to benefit from that tax break, you would have to make an excess of $115,000. The average median income for families here in this state is less than $50,000 a year, based on the U.S. Census. We must vote no on amendment number 2. Amendment number 3, and I'm sure that's one that many of you have heard about in the news, and it is every bit as dangerous and as damning as it sounds. It deals with supporting an amendment to provide the legislature to determine the authority of which felony crimes, when committed by a person under the age of 17, may be transferred for criminal prosecution as an adult. Well, the law already has an exemption for that. The broader concern is that it would allow children as young as 13 years old to be housed in adult correctional facilities. Now, one of the things that's oftentimes said, now let me say this as well. I am 100% in support of individuals, young and old, being held accountable for what they do. We understand that we do have crimes that are being committed by younger and younger persons. But to place a teenager in solitary confinement in an adult prison still opens the door for them to be sexually abused. It opens the door for them to be physically abused, opens up the door for them to be mentally abused. And under this current amendment, it would also cut funding and services for things like rehabilitation. These young people being able to get their GED, being able to go into a trade program. So it's, again, for those reasons, we must vote no on amendment number 3. And finally, the fourth one deals with the judicial election dates. And it says, do you support an amendment to provide for the use of the earliest election date to fill judicial vacancies? what this in essence does is that it moves judicial elections and it will push them to low turnout dates. I've had the opportunity to look at a couple judicial races. Judicial races are very stringent, and there are very strict rules that those who are candidates in a judicial race have to abide by. The broader concern with this is that it would in essence funnel elections to a very, very short amount of time, where the general public would not have sufficient time in order to vet the candidate, to find out more information about them. It is again, for that reason, we must vote no on amendment number 4. Also, because our judicial courts do serve as one of the, as I stated previously, one of our last lines of defense. And by rushing through a judicial election, it opens up the door for what I believe to be cronyism. I want to thank you all so much for your time and for hearing me, and I hope that we all leave here and vote no on these 4 amendments. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, number 10, consider approving a cooperative endeavor agreement with the One West Baton Rouge organization in support of the annual Family Day in the Park in the amount of $2,000.
Okay, Family Day in the Park organization came to us at the committee meeting, and normally we do give them we intend to call cooperative endeavor agreement when we pick up their expenses up to $2,000. In past years, it's been $2,500, but we've got a cap on everything that's $2,000. So they have requested at this time that we do continue our relationship with them.
Okay. Can I entertain a motion? Motion. Okay. Motion by Councilwoman King, second by Councilman Payne. Roll call.
Mrs. Joseph? Yes. Ms. Gordon? She's absent. Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
11, consider introducing an ordinance to increase the water and gas budget by $100,000 to address multiple leak repairs. Mr. Joseph?
Good evening, council. We discussed the matter last week at committee meetings. We've had multiple leaks in the system. Most of those have been repaired. We're still waiting on some estimates for one, but we do need a budget amendment to cover the costs and expenditures associated with repairing those leaks.
Okay. Can I get entertain a motion? Okay, it's a motion by Councilwoman Joseph. Second. Second by Councilman Hubble. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph? Yes. Ms. Gordon is absent. Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
Mr. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes.
12, consider approving paying invoices from Spinks Construction for $13,834.36 and $67,700 respectively for repair of the F1 pump and other emergency repairs at the railroad lift station. This work has been previously approved by the council, but the cost was not available. Mr. Erico?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Essentially, for the benefit of the new council people, these 2 pump stations had needed emergency repairs, basically because in each case, in the case of the effluent pump station at the, or influent pump station at the wastewater treatment plant, 3 of the 4 pumps were out of commission, and at the railroad, 1 of the 2. So that obviously constituted an emergency. Because of the nature of, you don't know exactly what the problem is till you start taking it apart. Really, we're not able to provide a cost. However, we monitored the amount of time in the what was actually done, the scope, and in both instances, the pump stations have been brought to 100% capacity with backup pumps and whatnot. And so I recommend that y'all pay both of these invoices. One for the railroad in the amount of $13,834.36, and the other one for the influent pump station in the amount of $67,700. And of course, the hope is now we won't have any more quote-unquote emergencies where we have to, pay for bypass pumping and other stuff like that, since that's kind of money that, can't be recouped. Any questions, y'all?
Okay, can I get a motion? Okay, the motion by Councilwoman Joseph. And second by Councilman Payne. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph? Yes. Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King? Yes. Payne? Yes. Motion passes, Mayor.
And consider authorizing Mayor Pattan to enter into a contract with Providence Engineering and Environmental Consulting Group, LLC, to prepare the 2025 MS4 annual report that will cover 24-25. The estimated cost to complete the scope of work is $10,000. So this is something that has been in place before in the past administration. The wastewater storm sewer reporting is what they put together for us for DEQ approval. It's a lot that goes into this, and they have, of course, agreed again this year to put everything together for us for all of our inspections. So I'm just asking for the same, it was the same last budget. So I'm just asking for the same thing this year. Do I have any questions? Can I get a motion? Okay. Okay, it was motion by Councilman Hubble, second by Councilwoman King. Can I entertain a roll call?
Ms. Joseph? Yes. Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King? Yes. Payne? Yes. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. 14, consider authorizing Chief Mitchell to hire Chad Abair as an officer in the police department contingent upon the results of his matrix test. Chief Mitchell?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, everybody. Unfortunately, as y'all can see, Mr. Abraham, he's not here today. The reason why is because he had to work and we found out the matrix result literally around right at 4 o'clock. He did pass. So a little bit about Mr. Abraham. He has over 7 years enforcement experience. He's FTL certified. He radar lidar instructor, traffic crash investigator. He worked with Zachary PD and EPR Sheriff Department. So
Currently?
as of right now,
Okay.
no. He's working out on his own discussion.
Okay.
He want to get back into law enforcement.
Okay, can we entertain a motion based on the Chief Mitchell and Mr. Abair passing his matrix today? Okay, Councilman Hubble? Okay. Councilwoman? Councilwoman King?
And I just wanted to also include that his pay grade would be 110G.
Okay. Can I get a roll call?
Ms. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King? Yes. Payne? Yes. Motion passes.
And when is he gonna start with this?
We're gonna get everything started on tomorrow. We gotta go get it fitted for his uniform and everything, and he'll be on there for the next pay period.
Okay. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we go to the next part.
Oh, I'm sorry, for the flop. I'm
that's all
sorry.
So, another thing, once again, I've spoken to you guys in February about the flock safety system, cameras and everything. I just love to get y'all blessing on getting the cameras as well. I've talked to all of you guys visual and with the presentation. So, if you have any questions pertaining that,
Y'all have any questions? Okay. Can I get a motion? Okay, motion by Councilman Hubble, second by Councilwoman King. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Joseph? Yes. Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Payne?
Yes. Thank y'all.
16, consider approving a cooperative endeavor agreement with the City of Port Allen and the Stone Square Lodge number 8 for historical improvements. These funds were appropriated by the state of Louisiana during the 2023-24 legislative session. Ms. Rose?
My understanding in meeting with a group of the representatives from the Stone Square Lodge and State Representative Edwin Jordan, that they did appropriate funds at the during the Louisiana legislative session on last year to take care of some electrical work. Stone Square Lodge building is a historical site, and there was money appropriated for that purpose, and they would work in conjunction with the cooperative endeavor that's been provided. So we would need approval from the council that the mayor can sign on behalf of the city for the cooperative endeavor.
Okay, can I entertain a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Joseph. Second by Councilman Payne. Anyone from the public would like to be heard?
Mayor, how much was how much did they allot the legislature?
The legislature allotted up to $75,000, but there are stipulations on how it has to be reported along with the need and the specifics of the project.
It is just for the Stone Lodge.
And the Stone Lodge and for a drainage project that we have.
Wait, I'm sorry. For the Stone Lodge and for a drainage
That we
project.
some drainage over at Clark Park. Yeah.
Okay. 75. You said. Up to 75.
Got to have receipts, you can't just write checks in.
No, I just want to know how much they appropriated. I don't know how much it's from. Thank you.
Can I get a roll call?
Mrs. Joseph? Yes. Ms. Gordon is absent. Okay, Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Ms. King?
Yes.
And Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Motion passes, Mayor.
Okay, 17, presentation of the monthly financial report. Ms. Davis?
Good evening, council members. In front of you, you have the monthly report. I also sent this to you all on earlier this week, so you all can review it. Does anyone have any questions? We look like we're on target. Nothing except the sewer is over budget right now, but we know about that. But everything is on target for us to stay within our budget for the fiscal year.
Okay, thank you. Y'all have any questions? Or anyone from the,
Over the budget because of item 11? Yes, because of all of the problems that we had and all of the repairs that have happened. But last week, Wednesday, that we.
Sewer is over budget because in previous years, we budgeted $400,000 to $500,000 for wastewater treatment improvements. That $400,000 to $500,000 was not budgeted in this fiscal year. That's why sewer was over budget. I can't answer why it wasn't. It just wasn't.
thank you, Mr. Joseph. 18, condemnation proceedings.
None at this time, Mayor.
19, alcohol and beverage permits.
We have one renewal, Knights of Columbus Hall, theater permit.
Motion to approve. So motion by Councilwoman King, second by Councilwoman Joseph. Roll call.
Mrs. Joseph? Yes. Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Payne? Yes. Motion passed.
Okay, 20 announcements and correspondence. The only thing I have, we did omit, for a committee meeting, our new, hire for payroll. Ms. Tamika Gerson is here tonight if you have any questions. But we had interviews, we had about 8 interviews. The personnel committee, sat in separately because of the meeting laws. But we sat in the interviews and everybody agreed, so I wanted to bring her before the entire council. I think Ms. Joseph met her already, I'm not sure if Mr. Payne's met her, so I'm not sure if you have any questions. I'm sorry?
I want to hear if you say something real quick before I came out.
Okay. So Ms. Durson is here, I'm not sure if you have any questions. She was hired, at 117A, just for public record. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Like she said, my name is Tamika Thurston. I have been in customer service, insurance agent, and payroll now for over 12 years. I thank the committee for the opportunity to apply and for you all hiring me. I look forward to doing a great job and proving my credentials to you all. Thank
Y'all
you.
have any questions for me? Thank you. Mr. Summers?
Good evening. I just wanted to ask and see if y'all can give it to DOTD to check on the red lights. The status of the red lights they're putting up in Port Allen, specifically Avenue G, because every evening the traffic backs up at that red light. Every evening it takes 20-25 minutes to get from right in front of Community Coffee to the red light. Not only that, it gets stuck when you're trying to come from Avenue G to get on the bridge. So when they get the new red lights up, I'm just kind of curious about when they're going to get them up right operation. The other thing is the red light at Walmart that's in the city. If y'all could give it to them to see about the timing, or see if all the traffic lights in the city of Port Allen are going to be connected into the traffic management center that they have in Baton Rouge, because those are the 2 spots in the city of Port Allen where traffic just grinds to a halt in the evenings.
Someone messaged about Avenue G, so I wasn't aware about the one by Walmart.
Yeah, it's an everyday occurrence that the traffic just gets backed up at that red light, and like I said, the one at LA one at Avenue G. So if they get those red lights working and greatly improve the flow of traffic, especially coming into Port Allen, because all the traffic getting off the bridge, it just creates a nightmare right there waiting for that light to cycle.
Okay, I appreciate it, we'll look into it. No further business? Adjourn.